Yeah, I got one.
Okay.
Trump signs executive order banning transgender athletes from women's sports. President Donald Trump signed an executive order Wednesday banning transgender athletes from participating in women's sports, fulfilling a promise that was at the center of his 2024 campaign. The order will establish sweeping mandates on sex and sports policies and will direct federal agencies, including the Department of Justice, to interpret federal Title IX rules as prohibiting the participation of transgender girls and women in female sports categories, according to the White House documents on the executive order obtained by ABC News.
I mean, we've talked about this
Yeah,
many, many, many times, man. And like I said, I don't have any issue with boys playing sports with boys and girls playing sports with girls. I'm talking about like what you were born as. You plan underneath that. I don't see that as ever being a problem. You know what I mean? Like it shouldn't be. No one should sit back and like I said, there was a 6'4", 6'6" swimmer, and he was like 400th and or 600th in the world, but he came in first or second, when it came to him swimming against women. I think he
yeah.
beat them, in a few different times. But I think, so at the end of the day, I don't have a problem with that. I think that any person who tries to convince you like, hey, I'm actually this and I should be competing with these people. I'm not, man. I wouldn't let you compete with my daughter. It's
Yeah,
not
no,
gonna
not at
happen.
all. No, I think
It's
I
not
think
gonna
this law is
happen.
long overdue. And I looked at it like this. There's that young girl. She decided she wanted to do this sport or whatever sport it was, and she played it. She started playing this since she was 7, 8 years old.
Hmm.
She gets up there and she's about to be a senior. This is her year to get a scholarship because her family ain't got no money. You know what I'm saying? This is her way to college through this sport. And then somebody comes in there and says, "Well, now I want to be a girl and I want to participate in the same sport." And then he beats her in the sport. Now she lost her scholarship. You know what I'm saying? Now this
Crazy.
this person can be like, "You know what? That was a fling. I was going through some stuff. I don't want to be a girl anymore." And goes back to being a boy, but that little girl's life is ruined. And the whole thing is like this. When they wouldn't let black people play basketball or football or baseball, let's start with baseball. They wouldn't let us play baseball. You know what we did? We created our own leagues and they were successful. Now the reason those leagues are gone are up to debatable, but we created our own leagues, and the reason
Hmm.
they won't and trans people need to stop trying to push themselves into people's situations. Create your own. That's what everyone else had to do,
I
but
mean,
the,
yeah, I
the reason
mean,
they can't do it with sports because nobody will come watch it.
I
So I
mean,
think this is a good law. This is a good one. It should have been done a long time ago.
I definitely agree that, what I mean, you obviously cannot have males in female sports. It's very difficult to even say you want to have a female in male sports. I think they let that happen before they let the other way around, but they would try and say that, let's see if a girl can compete against boys. But if we're going to stop it from one way, then it should be stopped both ways. Period, plain and
Yeah.
simple. It should be. There
Oh,
should be there
that's
shouldn't be
that's
any
it's gonna be both. It's
ambiguity
gonna be
in it.
both ways.
No,
Both
no,
ways.
you get what I'm at. But in reality, though, they'll let a girl try for a male sport. They'll
Yeah.
let that happen
Remember they
because
had
it
the
seems.
female box. She was used to be female. She turned male and went to go be a boxer, and she got knocked out in like 20 seconds.
Yeah. You know what I mean? So I mean, it just to me, I'd have to look at it from that perspective as well, too. It has to be both sides. We
Yeah.
can't just look at it like, oh, we'll give you the opportunity to try and see if you can do something that's incredible. No, it has to be stopped both ways. Period.
I
Plain
feel
and
bad.
simple.
I feel bad for the trans people that were just minding their own business and not bothering nobody because this isn't on them. This is on the people that wanted to flex their muscles when they got a little bit of taste of power. And what they did, and they went around, lumbosted people. They got people fired from their jobs. You know what I'm saying? They got
Hmm.
people suspended from schools, just for because they felt offended for somebody they don't even know. They went
Absolutely.
out there and made these huge scenes when it was unnecessary to do, just to flex power on people, just to have that taste of power. And now you see the ramifications of it. There have been trans people all my life, cross dressers all my life. Yeah,
Absolutely.
were they ridiculed? Everybody was, but they weren't in your face. They didn't feel they had to push some agenda to be all up in your face, and that's where the turning point was when you start putting it in kids' cartoons and putting it in kids' schools because a small few decided that's what they want to do and they have a right to do it.
Absolutely. I agree.
And
Uh,
so for all those that you were just living your lives, minding your business, you know what I'm saying? I hope you're gonna be okay